Hello everyone, I'm Extra87 and this is Let's Play Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Part 5. In the previous video we didn't lose, I didn't make a mistake, nothing of the sort happened, but we did learn there's a secret passage in the room, because of course there is, and we're gonna learn where does it go. The other side connects to the restaurant above. The underworld bosses could get away from the caps and enjoy a cold bowl of borscht, no doubt. Or maybe they'd eat something edible. I don't know. I'm not a cop. Just like our killer, who is also not a cop. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe he was. See where our line of simple deductive reasoning has led us, Apollo? I see it, but I don't believe it. That girl wasn't kidding when she said I needed this trump card for the last hand. Time of the murder, the window was blocked in the victim's hat. Only off his head for a few minutes between Mr. Smith's murder and Mr. Wright's return from calling the cops. In other words, the only place anyone could have seen the victim's bald head was from inside the hideout. Well, Mr. Gavin? Come on, say something. There was a secret fifth killer? Person? Shit, that worked for Phoenix. Dare I ask what really happened that night? Well, that's why we're here. It's kind of your job. So yeah, you probably should ask. Actually, I think we can probably figure it out ourselves at this point. That night, for whatever reason, our killer had a date with Mr. Smith. A date with destiny. He crouched, hidden in the secret passageway behind the cupboard, holding his breath, waiting for just the right moment. And then the chance came and he took it. Rah! Yeah! Why'd you do that? Wait here, I'll get help. Miss Olga really was out cold, struck by Mr. Smith. But his time was soon to come. Mr. Wright went upstairs to call the cops, leaving Mr. Shady Smith alone in the hideout with the unconscious dealer. Then our killer stepped out from the secret passage and into the hideout. The victim must have heard the cupboard sliding aside. He wheeled his chair around to look and BAM! Right on his shiny chrome dome. After the deed was done, the criminal must have seen the blood on the card. He would have, of course, as well as the need to destroy the evidence. But, like, it's not evidence. I mean, okay, I guess it's the evidence that he, like, turned around. I don't know. I feel like the card isn't actually that important, but whatever. That single spot of blood told the whole story of the crime. But, like, did it? Because, like, couldn't you just as easily argued that the cards went flying during the scuffle and just ended up on the floor in front of him, and that's where the blood? Or when he got bashed upside the head, there was some splatter? Like, I feel like the card realistically doesn't mean anything. Much less being like, oh no, I've got to get this card because it'll spoil the entire plan I have. Like, I feel like the logic there is not great. Too bad for him he didn't linger any longer in the hideout that night. If he had, he might have noticed the cards on the floor. And the fact that they were all red. But, like, it was red too, so you're saying there were red cards on the floor? Which would support the theory that, like, the card didn't necessarily need to be on the table. Yeah, I feel like the card's actually the worst part of this case so far. Like, just on, like, a logical level, I feel like it makes no sense. Especially being, like, the linchpin key evidence. This trial has taken yet another turn. I'm truly sorry I had to see this day come, Mr. Gavin. Mr. Gavin? Mr. Payne!
Yes, Your Honor.
The prosecution will continue its investigation. As for Mr. Phoenix Wright, the defendant, he is hereby cleared of all suspicion.
Ah!
Believe me when I say that I don't believe this is happening, Mr. Gavin. But I'm afraid circumstances call for me to issue a warrant for your arrest immediately. No need to apologize. I rather enjoyed myself. Not every day you get to witness a legendary attorney's dirty tactics firsthand. Your point, Mr. Gavin? Frankly, Your Honor, I'm shocked. That person of your caliber would be taken in by such a low-grade parlor trick. Excuse me? The defendant is cleared of all suspicion? This is hardly a time for jokes, Your Honor. Mr. Wright hasn't proven anyone's guilt or innocence here. What he has done is use illegal evidence to put the blame on someone else. Not just anyone else, but me, his own defense attorney. Well, illegal evidence? We have that? Let me ask you, Mr. Gavin. Is there any reason at present to suspect me of wrongdoing? Of course. This bottle, for instance. The bottle of grape juice Mr. Wright was drinking. How do you intend to explain away the fingerprints of the murder weapon? He was drinking the grape juice? Ah, shit. Okay, yeah. That sounded better in my head. And not just any fingerprints. Alright, Mr. Payne? Actually, yeah, the fingerprints on the bottle were upside down. Have you people, like... I mean, you could have just poured the bottle like that. I seem to recall this being an issue earlier. The court in this case demand an explanation. I can think of only one reason why one would hold a bottle upside down. And that is to hit someone with the bottom of the bottle. Well, Your Honor, I mean, you could just be a freak who kind of pours the bottle a little weird. Hello? See how the caught fish squirms the last. Well, Apollo? Yeah? The bell seems awfully concerned about this bottle still. I'm sure you can come up with a suitable explanation. Just like that, can't I? I mean, my initial assumption is it has something to do with how when he put the card in. We haven't really talked about when he put the card in or how he put the card in, but that would be my guess, is that that's how the fingerprints got there that way, due to however it was that he put the card in there. But we don't actually have the card as evidence. Yeah, just like, what? How would anyone grab a bottle upside down other than to... Don't let him trick you into thinking his explanation is the only legitimate one. Is there really another? Take another look at the court record. I'm looking, man. I'm looking. There's no card. There's no card. There's a top. There's some grape juice. It's empty. I believe you'll find a simple answer there in plain sight. How about you say the answer in plain words? It would be hasty to deliver a verdict without answering questions, indeed. Yeah, that's what I was saying. God damn it, my lunch break. Well, Mr. Justice? Mr. Gavin said the court in this case demands an explanation. Don't worry, justice won't leave until justice is done. Absent offense would care to enlighten the court? What evidence do you have to explain why the fingerprints in the bottle are upside down? Bro, I don't fucking know, man. It's the damn cell phone. We haven't talked about his tape. He has tape on the back. That important? Why the fingerprints are upside down? Why the fingerprints are upside down. Upside down. My man was drunk. I do not know. single drop of blood. It do be looking kind of red. Is there anything here? Not really. Upside down. Because, I mean, we don't have anything about the 5 of hearts. Grape juice. Apparently it's his favorite drink. And then there's nothing inside. I don't know. Get the bottle. Okay, seems to be the perfect time for a penalty. Alright. You're thinking too hard, Apollo. The answer's right in front of you. Just reach up and pick it up. Or try picturing situations in which one might grab a bottle upside down. A situation where you'd grab the bottle upside down. I don't know, man. You're trying to drink that shit. Playing spin the bottle. What about the phone? The batteries held in place with a piece of tape. I don't know, man. Why would you... Not removed during investigation. You're picking up the bottle out of the crate? I mean, I think I'm just gonna pick everything that has the bottle in it. It's actually easier to show you than explain, Your Honor. I kind of forgot about that picture, if I'm being completely honest. Place that bottle on the floor next to your chair. Excuse me, on the floor? Yes, now reach down and pick it up. Without getting out of your chair. See, you naturally gotta pick up the bottle by its neck. With your fingers upside down. No, you don't. What the fuck are you talking about? Your fingers are still right side. Okay, now I guess they kind of are upside down. Yeah. Look at this photograph taken the night of the murder. The defendant, Mr. Right, sat here, playing piano. Bottles of grape juice on the floor to the side of the piano bench. He would have naturally picked up the bottles upside down several times. Can't believe it was that simple. How had dinner that evening, Kristoph? I was drinking my usual juice then too. Basically, you used the bottle on the table to do the deed. But then you must have remembered. I mean, that was essentially what I was going for. Well, I was initially going for like the... I don't know, he had to touch the bottle to put the card in and get the card out. And for some reason he had to do that upside down. But then the second time I was just like, I don't know, I think he was trying to drink from the bottle and had to pick it up like that. And I just wasn't really paying attention to... I forgot that the wine was in this picture. So you went and picked up one of the bottles from under the piano. And you switched the bottles. He took one of Mr. Wright's bottles and made it look like the murder weapon. That's the penalty for taking days off. Order! 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 What do you have to say to these charges, Mr. Gavin? Fascinating. So this is the legendary attorney's famed tactic of misdirection.
What?
You claim that I switched the bottle? Where's your proof?
Proof? Well, oh god, to use the fucking P word, man.
As I thought, more baseless conjecture. I'm afraid your bottle of proof is quite empty. Wouldn't be so quite sure about that. Your Honor, you initiated the investigation on the hideout earlier. Do you recall I requested an additional investigation?
Yes. I have a memo about that here. Retrieve the bottles from under the piano at the Borscht Bowl Club.
And I guess one of those has the card in it.
And here's one of the bottles in question.
What, are you going to dust that for fingerprints too? I'd be surprised if any were on that, but his... Mr. Gavin probably wouldn't make such a novice mistake, true. The bottle won't bear a trace of anything. Say, follow. Yeah? Why don't you go ahead and examine that bottle? Give it a little vibe check. But why? Just humor me. Trying to be dramatic and shit. God, kids these days. Back in my day, I would have done that shit instantly. I wouldn't have even questioned it. That bottle will solve this case once and for all.
What?
That's some bottle. Skirt. Like, gasp! There's something inside the bottle! How do you think he fished it out? What's this? That card! It can't be! Pot of greed! Recall that unpleasant woman's testimony for a moment. Miss Olga Early? Yeah, so a little swindling. I'm not gonna say that word. That night I planted the card like I was supposed to, and Wright lost the last hand just like he was supposed to. Then Mr. Smith searched him, but the planted card was gone. The trap failed. Wait, this isn't... You're telling me that this is the planted card you disposed of? The one you mentioned in this piece of testimony? I put my hand in my pocket and found a card. Yeah, snuck a peek at it and found it was the 5 of hearts. Had a feeling something might happen, so I disposed of the card before the game.
Disposed? Where? In your belly? Did it taste good?
I've always been meaning to try one of those. Sometimes the red and blue just look so delicious. There was an empty bottle of grape juice I had been drinking right beside me. Threw the card inside the bottle. Five of hearts. This is the card. Bottles are swapped. And the only one who could have done that was the 4th person in the club that night. You, Mr. Kristoph Gavin. Oh god, he's gonna lose it. My shrimp? He shrimped it? That is all. Is this your idea of revenge, Phoenix Wright?
Revenge?
Revenge for the events that took away your attorney's badge 7 years ago? My past is like my logic, straight and true. Alright, you know, let's not fucking lie, Phoenix. Your logic is never straight. It's occasionally true. Nothing's changed. All I did was point the finger of justice in the proper direction. Fine. Glad we could have this little tete-a-tete, right?
This is insane! What about me? Don't I get to prosecute anyone? Please?
I win all my cases off screen.
It's just when I'm on camera, there's anxiety. and I started doing really badly. And then they say, hey, we're going to give you another case. You're going up against somebody cool this time. And I say, I'm going to win it for real, yo. And then I get on camera and I'm fucking not choke.
I believe this time we finally come to the end of our trial. Mr. Bain, you have a report for us on Kristoph Gavin?
Oh, they took him out back and shot him in the head. Your Honor, he's been disposed of. Justice is quick and efficient in our system. He's admitted everything. We're processing his arrest now.
I see. Still, one has to wonder why he would do such a thing. Didn't even have a connection to the victim, did he? None that we know of. Mr. Wright, have you anything to add? Afraid I can't shed any more light on the matter. About this victim, Mr. Shady Smith. His occupation was listed as traveler. You can get paid for that? An odd profession to be sure, and that's all we know about him.
I'll arrange a follow-up investigation, Your Honor.
Good. Mr. Wright? Yeah?
7 years. You still haven't lost your touch.
Kristoph Gavin was a man with much significance for me, both as a friend and as a lawyer.
He was extremely talented, to be sure.
I needed two things before I could confront him. First is a place where no injustice would be tolerated. This courtroom.
Doubt.
The second was a man who would tolerate no injustice. In other words, a defense attorney. You, Apollo.
Me?
A dark time is coming for our legal system. A twisting of justice brought by our very own court system. We have to set it right.
Well, you're right. Mr. Wright.
That's right. Indeed I am. Our work lies ahead of us, and I, for one, am looking forward to it.
It seems like a good time to announce a verdict. Court finds the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Honestly, you know what? I think it'll save me time in the future if I just declare you guilty, so you get out of my hair, because your trials are always really long and cut into my lunch breaks. So you know what? Go to jail. Go directly to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. I'll see you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Court is adjourned.
A long day in court. Thanks, Apollo. Came through just like I thought you would. Sure didn't do a thing in there. Yeah, that's how I feel. It was you who cornered Mr. Gav, the killer. Couldn't have done it by myself. You sensed it too today, didn't you? Your, ability? Ability? Yeah, sensitivity I lack. You'll come to understand it soon enough. Wonder if he means my vibe check. I have one question for the witness then. You say you saw the moment the defendant hit the victim? Is this true?
Of course it's true.
What's this weird vibe I'm getting? What was that, Mr. Wright? You'll have to find the answer to that question yourself. Answer? Right. It was full of questions without answers, most of them about Mr. Gavin. What possible reason could he have to commit murder? Perhaps you'll learn that in the days to come.
Wait, you don't know, do you?
This locket is the key. Reminds me, I met the girl whose picture's in your locker. Your daughter, right? That's right. She's my daughter. Hey, you know, you were right about this locket. Huh? I took this off his neck the night he died. But it looks like our dear Russian scam artist saw me. But the truth is, this locket really did belong to him. Wait, that's perjury. So wait, is it that guy's daughter, like biologically speaking? Because they have the same kind of hat. You know, they got a similar looking hat, and that probably means they're like related. I know that shit makes no sense out of context, but like, you know what I mean, right? Like aesthetically, they look similar as designed characters, so there's some relation there. I.e., that's like, you know, that guy's daughter, and then Wright adopted him because Phoenix doesn't fuck. There's no universe in which he does that. I don't believe it. You testified. You said the locker was yours. I said no such thing, actually. Huh? I merely said it was a locker with my daughter's picture inside. A subtle distinction, but a distinction nonetheless. And it's the truth. Wait, but then why? How was the victim wearing a locker with a picture of your daughter inside it? And then there is also, she seemed like, I mean, they haven't established how long it's been since the, like, first trilogy of games, but Wright doesn't seem that old. I mean, we know it's been at least 7 years. And that girl looks to be kind of oldish. Like, she could be, like, you know, anywhere from, like, 14 to 35 in anime world. Which seems like, I don't think it's been quite, it doesn't feel like it's been that many, like, years have jumped. Sometimes the straightest path to the truth isn't the best one. Give it time. You're still just getting started with your career. Speaking of which, I may be out of a job. I work for Gavin Law Offices after all. Still can't believe I just saw Mr. Gavin get led away in handcuffs. I'm not gonna get my paycheck on, am I? Apollo. Yeah? How about coming to work for me? Eh? You mean at the Wright & Co. Law Offices? I mean, there's not a single attorney of my generation that doesn't know it. Also, wouldn't it be closed down? Can't imagine that to be true, but... Wait, but you're not a... Oh, I turned in my badge, yes? I'm not an attorney anymore. That incident 7 years ago. That legendary trial. And at the middle of it all was one man, Phoenix Wright. The one they call Big Papa. The case reached its sad conclusion and he left law for good. You ever thought about coming back to the courts? I'm not qualified to stand in a court of law, I'm afraid. Didn't you notice in today's trial? There was a single piece of forged evidence. Forged evidence? What are you talking about? Talking about evidence that shouldn't have existed. A naughty magician's trick. One piece of evidence struck me as odd, it's true. It just seemed, well, too perfect. I mean, I would assume the card. I mean, well, let's think for a second. I mean, it's gotta be the card. Yeah, our attorney's badge. You mean this, don't you? I got this from your daughter? Yeah, that card couldn't have been found at the crime scene. Why? Because the killer took it with him when he left. Even the wrong card in its place, luckily for us. Court can accept this evidence as a fraud. A fraud? How can you be so sure? I don't think the only person who could claim it was a fraud would be the one who took the real card from the crime scene. The real killer. The verdict was already handed down 7 years ago. Then you really... Yeah, I forged this card. One look at the crime scene should have told you it wasn't real. But you can't do something like that and call yourself an attorney? Who's calling themselves an attorney, Apollo? It's true. The rumor is true. 7 years ago. None of that matters much now, does it? Punched him. He did sock it to him. I didn't know if that's what they were trying to imply. Your story from here on out, Apollo. Perhaps I can help you turn the next page. My office's address. Drop in if you like. All the important information has been blurred out. Mr. Wright. About your uppercut. You gotta yell, sure you can, when you do it. Try yelling, take that, next time. I find it packs a little more punch. Apollo, thanks for today. I had a good time. And with that, Mr. Wright walked out the door. And that's how my first trial ended. A lot of mysteries went unsolved. And I kinda embarrassed myself. But at the same time, I had no idea they were all related. Every mystery that day, connected by a single thread of logic. How do we make a video game? I'll find that out soon enough. My name is Apollo Justice, attorney at law, and this is how my story begins. The end. Alright, well, game over. Roll credits. Save your progress. Yeah, sure, whatever. Turnabout corner. So it's Chickadee, who, as previously mentioned, could be anywhere from like 14 to 35. It just depends on how old they need her or want her to be. As long as we draw breath, the wheel of fate turns. Screw. Spinning big crimes and little crimes together. And when the wheel stops, somebody dies. You die. See, I wrote this game. It's just, you know, I can predict dialogue. Unfortunately, I can't predict its weird logic at times. But really, I mean, I don't have any problems with any of the questions there, even the ones that I struggled with. I think they all kind of, I mean, the one where you had to pick the thing, like the second, where you, because what was it? You had to pick the killer? That one, I mean, I guess that one's fine. Yeah, I don't really have any issue with any of them. What was the one that we missed like 4 times in a row on? That was in the first recording session. I don't remember. Like, there was a reason why we had 1 HP. I can't remember which one. I don't remember having an issue with the prompt, but I can't remember it. But yeah, my initial verdict on the opening trial case is pretty good. I have no problems with any of the prompts or logic. A few were a little like I didn't really know what they wanted, but the only thing I felt like it was purely just kind of bad logic was just the idea of the card. But the actual question in relation to the card wasn't hard or like made sense. Like it felt like I knew what the game wanted there. Even though I think the idea that like, oh, the card, even though we know there's a bunch of cards on the floor, the idea that the card had to have been on the table seems a little flimsy. But the actual question in relation to that wasn't bad. 2 months have passed since Mr. Gavin's arrest. It also was definitely like more involved than I would have expected for like the tutorial trial, which is not a bad thing. I guess, and the tutorial trials do all get like more complex with each of the games because I guess there's the assumption that you're already familiar with the systems for the most part, so they can make them less straightforward. My first trial, and I lost both my mentor and my job. Yeah, I'll admit it, I was screwed. But even when I hit bottom, I told myself I'd never come here. Honest. Here being the legendary Wright & Co. law offices. Is that the plant? Is that Charlie? Is he still alive? We got some cards. Got a plate of raw spaghetti. Absolutely disgusting. Some dude. Potentially the real father, because as previously mentioned, Phoenix does not fuck. I don't believe it. Or just someone she looks up to, but he has the same hat, so that means they're related. Have a teapot. This used to be a trash can? To be honest, I don't know what this is next to the teapot. Does it make tea? Anything else of note here in the background? I think that's pretty much it. Okay, Justice, time to stop trembling. You must be for the interview, right this way. Huh? Hello there, you found the right place. Welcome. What's with this girl? Well, now, shall we begin? Begin what? Right, first things first. Any special talents? Talents? Yeah, well, you must have at least one. I guess defending? Defending an unusual talent, but it'll do. A little jazzing up, of course. You think so? Let's give it a go, shall we? Go ahead, show me, defend! Just give it all you got, don't hold back now. But I'm a defender. She kind of bounces like Maya. What are you talking about? I can't just defend here. First lesson, professional can perform anywhere. Thanks. We want people to be laughing with us, not at us. Thanks. I'm not sure why they should be laughing at all. What? What exactly do you think you came here to do? What? Defend, no? Excuse me, but do you know where you are? The Wright & Co. law offices, right? Oh. I was afraid of that. Don't worry, you're not the first. What's going on here? What's with the plate of spaghetti, lady? That's disgusting. Don't just leave that hanging around. I came here to meet with the person in charge. Well, you apparently made no fewer than 2 mistakes. Mistakes? But I got a call from Mr. Wright this morning. Perhaps you should go and read the sign out front again. What's there to read? Look, it says right there. Magic Land. Why does it say Wright Talent Agency? Welcome to the Wright Talent Agency, where you're always coming to the right place. I'm Tracy Wright, CEO. I'm a magician. It all came flooding back. The trial, that girl. Hello, sir. Please pick a card. The gasp. That's right. She's my daughter. Tracy, right? Check out our flyer. That is a piano. What's your name? Apollo Justice, Attorney at Law. Wow, your name already sounds like a stage name. Okay, this is our first investigation. What's up? So, is this really a talent agency? You bet. Daddy started it 7 years ago when he quit law. Of course, we only have 2 people signed up right now. 2 people? Does that include you? Tracy Wright, magician extraordinaire. I've done a lot of stage shows, paid too. I'm a professional, you know, in the very literal sense. Do I, have to rely on the family for additional income? Yes, but I do make some money, therefore I'm a professional. Right. Promise you'll come to one of my shows, okay? Let's see. Oh, and the other person the agency represents is Phoenix Wright, pianist extraordinaire. Or pianist ordinaire. Your dad, in other words. Didn't he say he couldn't play the piano? Our agency doesn't see that as a problem. Why, there are many magicians who can't do magic. Actually, I'd say all of them can't. At least you're optimistic, I'll give you that. So you're Phoenix Wright's daughter? After Daddy quit law 7 years ago, I promised I'd keep him fed. So I'm kind of his sugar daddy, get it? No. I'm in charge of this whole office too. Pretty amazing for a young lass of 15, wouldn't you agree? Okay, 15, that seems believable. Is Phoenix 15 years older? I don't think so. 15? How old is Mr. Wright? See, they're already casting aspersions. Daddy, he's 33 this year. Okay, I think he's 25 in the first game, which would mean it's only been like a year plus 1. Or it's been like 7 years since the end of the third game. So there's been no additional time skip aside from that. I'm pretty sure they say he's 25 in the first game. I could be wrong. I remember 25 being mentioned at some point. So yeah, not biological. So we have confirmed Phoenix Wright does not fuck. Which is good. That puts my mind at ease. I'm sure there's a good explanation. I know. About Mr. Wright giving up law. It was because of that incident 7 years ago, wasn't it? You know about that? Not the details. I remember the news, though. It was a big deal. Local lawyer sets off global thermonuclear bomb? I was too young to understand what's going on. I'll ask Daddy about it next time we get a chance. Daddy, right. That reminds me. About Mr. Wright. He gave me a call this morning to come in. Daddy's not here right now. He's in the hospital. The hospital? Yeah, he cleans the floors there. He's on strict bed rest until he gets better. What? Okay. Which hospital is Mr. Wright in? I'll pay him a visit. Oh, the Hickfield Clinic. It's quite close. Right. Well, I'll be going now, and I'll, give this showbiz gig some thought. Wait, I'll go with you. Wait, no, I need to look at, I wanted to look at stuff. No! This is Mr. Wright's hospital. It is, it's this guy. I was wondering if it was gonna be him. Eh, visitors are you? Are you the doctor? Yup, Dr. Hickfield's name. Hee. Good morning, doctor. Is he the only doctor? Can we go to a real hospital? Oh, hi there, Truthy. Cutie as ever. Is this Daddy's room? Oh yeah, Steffi's gone for a morning checkup. Be back soon. How are you, Miss Trudy? Any place you like examine? Japan don't make jokes about sexually molesting minors. 2000 challenge, literally fucking impossible. Doctor? Doctor, the nurse is looking for you. Why was it Daddy-O? Well, the cutest little thing in town. Guess I'll be off then. Later, Trudy. Wow, what an odd bird that guy was. Good morning, didn't expect you so soon, Apollo. Mr. Wright? I mean, I just gotta ask the question, have you ever seen a real-life attorney's badge? What's that? Looks strangely familiar. How can you not recognize an attorney's badge? In 7 years, I've forgotten a lot of things. I guess some 7 years are longer than others. Alright, fine, I'll look around first before I talk to your ass. Mr. Wright's bed, it's really messy. Look how messy this is! You're just hopeless without me, aren't you, Daddy? Hey, she's attempting to clean up. Look out! You got me. What can I say? I was raised in a barn. Trying to let word get out, Apollo, if you don't mind. Yeah, it might ruin your illustrious career pretending to play the piano. What's that on TV? Looks like some sort of... Oh, it's the samurai thing. Some sort of action hero show. Oh, I know that one. That's Sniffling Samurai. His booger flick attack is a big hit with the grade school crowd. I had no idea you like this kind of stuff, Mr. Wright. What else is there to do when you're stuck in bed? Besides, the episodes will just keep piling up if I don't keep up, you know? Yeah, try not buying them? Yeah, that's the only time I get to watch and write up my reports. Reports? Your reports? It's a long story. Like a lot of things, actually. Swaying spiral stack of DVD cases. The Steel Samurai, the Nickel Samurai, the Pink Princess, the Zappy Samurai, Electric Bugaboo. They're all children's action. They're not for children, alright? They're for families. It's different. This kid I know keeps sending them to me. Huh? Like a niece or nephew? Something like that. Well, quite the collection. This kid's parents must be really generous with their allowance. Funny, Mr. Wright doesn't seem the type that kids would like. True, pretty true. You sucking some grape juice again?
Doctor said you weren't supposed to drink that here.
Trucy, look at the label.
Oh, deep sea mineral water. That's fine, I guess.
Switch the labels. Don't tell Trucy, okay? What can I say? The man loves his grape juice. It's so weird. Wish they give me like a little check mark to know if you've examined it. Okay, I think we're good. That seems to be everything. Okay, can I go back to the office? Alright, you stay right there. I gotta look at stuff, alright? This is important. An old sepia-tinted photo of a man in a silk top hat.
That's my favorite magician. I want to be just like him someday.
Sure, nice. Guess it's good to have a role model, even if he's gotta be well over 100.
How rude. He's only 18.
A strange split box leers me from the wall. Is this one of those boxes for cutting people in half?
That's right. This cabinet is used for an illusion called the zigzag.
I've seen one on TV, but why is one just sitting here in your office?
It's a little big for me, see? So I'm using as furniture. Hats in the top, shirts in the middle, and pants down below. I think it's a nice touch, don't you think?
Not exactly what I'd call a welcoming decor. That table doesn't look very sturdy.
You never seen one of these? It's a magic table.
So like you make this teapot disappear?
Into my belly, yes. So you might think, but that's not it. Before your very eyes, the contents of the pot change. From Earl Grey to Darjeeling.
Kinda hard to see the difference, I think. All these legal books must be Mr. Wright's leftovers. He has not read them. There's a lot of unrelated books in here too. One Trick a Day, Magic for Idiots. You'd think a pro magician would aim a little higher. There are all sorts of strange paraphernalia sitting on top of the piano. Oh, that is a piano.
These are my magic props. Practice, practice, practice. A professional never leaves their weapons far from reach.
But you can't play the piano with all this junk on it.
No one plays here anyway. And the neighbors complain.
Guess Mr. Wright really can't play. That's one of those hula hoop things everyone was crazy about way back when.
Really? I had no idea these were that popular.
I'm not so bad with one myself, actually. Apollo's His Hips Don't Lie.
I'm still learning. So you can really make someone levitate with it? Show me.
Huh? I have no idea how. It's just a normal hula hoop, isn't it? Alright, let's address the elephant in the room.
That fork is floating!
What? Why do you have a plate of plastic spaghetti in here?
Okay, it's plastic. That is weird, but less disgusting. That right there is the whole reason I became a magician.
Do tell?
I saw a plate just like that in a restaurant once. The floating fork looked so real, that's when I knew. Someday I'd make magic more amazing than that spaghetti.
Oh, is it supposed to be floating? I just assumed it was resting on the green box. But I guess I can kind of see how it's supposed to be a floating fork. I think that's everything. Alright. Gotta ask the question, have you ever seen a real-life attorney's badge?
I've seen one of those before. That's an attorney's badge.
Yeah, but have you ever seen a real-life one?
It looks just like the one Daddy used to have. Now if I take this badge and do this and this, see? It's gone. Hey, my badge! What'd you do with my badge? No, my Pokemon won't want to obey me. No need to worry. Just look in your pocket. No way, my pocket. Wait a sec, there's something in there. It's a flyer for your agency. And here's your badge. You can have it back now.
That's the last time I let her touch anything of mine, period. Alright, back. Sorry, Phoenix. I was doing important shit, I promise. So, what happened? Who could have imagined it? Me, victim of a hit and run. You were hit by a car? Oh, he tried to swerve. I'll give him that. Picture me tossed 30 feet through the air, only stopping my head hit the telephone pole.
You got a telephone pole with your head, are you okay?
Thankfully, my only energy was a sprained ankle. he really is as lucky as they say. There's something that, well, I mean, it just doesn't sit right. I just can't believe you have a daughter, Mr. Wright. See, it's woven into the plot. The unbelievable idea that Phoenix Wright could ever, well, you know. And she's so big, not fat, but you know what I mean. Trucy's still a child. How many times do I have to remind you? I'm not a child anymore. But you'll always be daddy's little baby girl to me, Trucy. My foot. I'm not buying it. Something you should know about Trucy. He's a magician, right? She told me. Not a mere stage magician. She's a genius. Aw, Daddy. You'll soon come to appreciate her talent. Can you just tell me things instead of insinuating them? So, why did you contact me? How do you make money? How do you live? What could the Wright Talent Agency possibly want with me? Because on one hand, you could say, oh, well, he built up a nest egg practicing law, and that's why he can afford to, like, you know, drink grape juice for a living. But we also know that he was never paid for any of his cases ever in history. I need to get prickly now. Hey, I didn't ask to be dragged into like this. Didn't you come to this office of your own free will anyway? I mean, okay, like, yeah, but at the same time, if we don't get a job, we will starve and die, so it's not really a choice. But yeah, of course. Well, we're in big trouble here at the office. Big! Thought someone was dying. You don't think this is big trouble? A talent agency represents only 2 people, and one of them is in the hospital. That's right, Daddy. How are we going to pay this month's rent and the groceries? That's the problem with such a tight operation. It's a symbiotic relationship. When one of us falls, the other 2 must fall. This isn't exactly a suitable conversation to be having with a 15-year-old kid. But we can have a joke about molesting her 10 minutes ago. That was fine. In any case, if Apollo here can't help you, you'll have to transfer to a new school. Again. No, I can't. I only just made friends. What is Apollo supposed to do? How could you do this to me? To us, Polly? What? Now it's my fault? Polly? On that note, how about you come work for us? I got the perfect client for you already lined up. A client? I mean, I get to do my job? I get to defend in court? All right. I'll hear what you have to say. You got him, Daddy. Hook, line, and sinker. Now it's time to reel him in. It's official. I'm scared. Alright, so who's the client? Yeah, here. Take a look at this map and I'll explain. Map? Last night I left the office just for 9 o'clock. In the morning. I was done with my day by then. I was going past that Indochina pasta joint, Al Dente's. I play piano there, of course. That's when it happened. The car sent me flying, nicked a telephone pole, and zoomed away. Creepy, huh? Just a tad. Almost as creepy as hearing you tell the story like it was no big deal. So I sped off in this direction. So, good luck. Huh? You wanted a client, didn't you? Well, I'm your client. Find the guy who knocked me out of that telephone pole. Hold on, I'm a defense attorney, not a detective. Basically the same things. Don't worry, once you found the guy, I tend to sue him. And you can stick it to him in court. Not a prosecutor either. Sorry, this is crazy. I'm going home. Don't get so worked up. It was just a joke. Huh? Oh, Daddy. Sorry, Apollo. He just loves jokes, you know? Even the ones that aren't very funny. My man. Maybe we have more in common after all, Mr. Phoenix, right? Your real client should be stopping by the office any time now. Office? You mean the talent agency? No harm in going. It's not like I have anything else to do. One more thing. Well, do look into my accident too, would you? I marked the scene of the tragedy on this map. It's right in front of this park. People Park. Should be easy to find. Who's gonna make me investigate this after all? Alright, let's go peep the client and then we'll call it. Hey, hey, hey! How long you planning on making me wait, eh? Ah, good morning. He's got noodle hair. He has noodle hair. His hair is noodles. His hair is noodles. Hey there, Tree Doll. Sounds like Pop's had a bit of a rough spot, eh? All's well that ends well, I guess. This is our client? Hey, so this is that Apollo fellow, right? Yeah, the name's Apollo. Look at her right there, arms all crossed, ready to fight. Yes, sir. You don't mean that literally, do you? Boss told me what you need, don't you? Don't let me down now, Apollo. Don't worry about your defense, sir. I'm on it. Defense? Your noodle half cooked? It's too late for defense. My castle's been stormed. My keys been stolen. My noodle stain's been stolen. Noodle? You know Mr. Eldoon from the noodle scene, don't you, Polly? No nicknames, please, and no, of course I don't know him. You know these parts? Not really. Hey, you know the best noodles in town. Eldoon's Noodles. I mean, I respect the noodle, man. I respect the Lord of the Noodle, alright? They've gotten us through hard times in the past. Whose noodles? My noodles! Help me out here, Trusadol. This is Mr. Guy Eldoon, our client. Maybe you can tell us what the problem is? Holy shit, he's going off. Anything for you, Trusadol? Alright, we'll talk to the Noodle Lord in the next video. We will not return to the title screen though. I'm Extra Cheesy 87. Stay tuned for the next part. And bye guys.